President Obama is refusing to scrap a 5-day trip to Latin America that will take him to Brazil, Chile, and El Salvador. Critics question the timing, given his call for UN to approve airstrikes in Libya and the ongoing crisis in Japan. Is now a bad time to be taking a trip to balmy Rio? Let's stay ahead of the curve. Fox Business's Lori Rothman is here with us, as well as Tea Party 365 founder David Webb, and liberal Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall is out west. We're all going to be hashing this out. Lori, thank you for coming on.
Pleasure.
So should the president stay at home with all this stuff popping?
I have to say the criticism of the president, right, is that he's not addressing these geopolitical instabilities. But part of going to Brazil, look, there's a significant oil reserve, one of the world's largest, right off the shores of Brazil. You also have the China problem. Don't forget about that. China is clobbering Brazil's manufacturing industry. That depressed currency, as well as its unfair trading, well, part of its unfair trading policies, it's hurting the U.S., it's hurting Brazil. So if we can team up and maybe nudge each other to, like, put the pressure on China to ease up a little bit, might actually help the world's issues.
Now, David, I know that Air Force One is fully equipped. You can do anything in there that you can do in the White House, but perception is so important for a presidency. And if a president is in Washington dealing with a crisis like you have in Japan, like you have in Libya, isn't it more important that he be in the White House physically?
You know, I'm with you on the perception, and I give him a little bit of pass, the fact that it was planned a long time ago. But let's look at the realities of going to Brazil. Lori, unfortunately, Brazil and the U.S. together cannot pressure China. We also, I'm glad he's going to Brazil, because guess what else went to Brazil? All the oil rigs out of the Gulf went down there on contracts.
Not all of them, but most of them, yeah.
But what I'm saying, yeah, you're right, a chunk of them. The president needs to focus on the larger issues, and it is important about the image and perception, and I think that's something he has to correct. It's not good for the world when they see America not being the leader when France is the leader, when Germany is the leader on Libya, and when we have a degrading situation in Libya where the people are being murdered by
Leslie, I love Latin America. I covered Latin America for 12 years. I married into Latin America. My wife is from Central America, but now's not the time to go, is it?
I don't agree, because some of the problems that we have here have to do with oil, gas prices, and have to do with consumerism, lack of jobs and lack of manufacturing and lack of consumers overseas buying American products. Brazilians manufacturers are feeling the strain of the cheap products and also the concern coming out of Brazil when it comes to China's currency. So an excellent time for the president to be going. He can do what he needs to do to lead, and I think this addresses perhaps two of the issues. I know we're not buddies on trade, but oil and technology will we benefit from as a result of this trip.
Yeah, but David, let's talk about Libya again, because this is really a critical. I mean, people are dying there. The whole rebellion may be wiped out by Gaddafi if something isn't done quickly.
Right. Gaddafi is on another 24 hours, I'll wipe this out kick. That was his latest pronouncement. And, you know, I go back to what can you actually affect. All right, let's say we're going to make a trade agreement and improve our trade policies with Brazil. We don't have the manufacturing to pick up for China. This is the problem, is we're chasing the smallest low-hanging fruit when we should be chasing the important fruit. And this presidency has basically abdicated his responsibility.
Is it an abdication? Is it that far, Lori?
Look at the message in the markets, David, right? This is what we do all day long. We cover, you know, asset values. You can see oil prices spiking. Look at the Treasury market. Treasuries have been rallying as a flight to safety. So you look at what's going on in the Middle East. It's destabilizing. Is it radicalizing? Some people have suggested, not to mention Japan, and even the European debt crisis is still in motion. There are so many hot spots in the world.
All right. I think you should delay the trip, but that's just me. Thank you, gang. Good to see you. So what do you think? A no-fly zone over Libya. Is that idea a buy, a sell, or a hold? Text 369-249. And coming up on deck, mixed martial arts and the state of New York. They are in a fight to the finish. Two UFC legends, Chuck Liddell and Frankie Edgar, pulling no punches. They are here to tell New York to get out of the way and let them fight. And coming up next in his new time zone, Mr. John Stossel. John?
Next, I go to the Capitol and ask the politicians.
What are you doing with our money? You really think you can spend our money better than we can?
I'll show you the disgusting ways they spend your money at the top of the